I accepted my first salary offer without negotiating because I was so relieved to have been offered the job that the idea of potentially jeopardizing it by asking for more felt impossibly risky. I accepted my second offer without negotiating because the first negotiation I had ever not done had set a template of not negotiating. By the time I was at my third role at 26, the pattern was so established that I had genuinely convinced myself I was not someone who negotiated, that it was a personality type distinct from mine, something that aggressive or financially minded people did, and that was not really who I was. What I was actually doing was using a story about my personality to avoid a conversation that made me uncomfortable. A colleague, Preethai, who joined our team at the same time as me at a comparable level, mentioned in passing about 6 months in that she was being paid 20% more than the standard band for our level. She had negotiated before signing. I had not. The number she gave as the difference between our likely salaries, said casually, without any drama, stayed with me for weeks. I went back and ran the math on my previous roles. Across 3 jobs and roughly 4 years of working, the gap between what I had accepted and what I could reasonably have asked for amounted to a number that made me sit very still for a while. I was not underpaid in any dramatic way, but I had consistently accepted the first number offered without any attempt to understand whether it was the best number available. The next time I was offered a role, at 27, I negotiated. The preparation I did beforehand was extensive, partly because I wanted to be good at it, and partly because I was treating it like an exam that anxiety demanded I overprepare for. I had market rate data, I had a specific number rather than a range, and I had a version of the conversation rehearsed well enough that, when I asked for 15% above the offer, my voice did not shake. They came back at 10% above the offer. I accepted. That difference, compounded across base salary and future raises calculated against a higher base, was not trivial. More important than the money was the shift in how I understood my own worth in professional contexts. Asking for what you deserve is not aggression, it is information exchange. The company knows their range. You have the right to know yours too.